everybody, it's your boy Lumenaddy. Today is March the 16th, and let's get right into it. It's been a while since I've put out another video, but I was waiting for the right moment, and I feel like we are at the crossroads of an epic shift in the crypto space, specifically with Stellar and Smartlands. And so let's get right into it. Let's get into the charts and let me talk about it. Well, off technical indicators, what we can see here, this is the Stellar USD chart on TradingView on the monthly time frame, and you can see a morning star pattern forming here. That is a bull run pattern. If this March candle completes with where it's at currently, but I expect it to be much higher because there's upcoming news, it will showcase a morning star pattern. And so what is the news that that I'm talking about, and why do I think that this coming week is going to be a transformative week for Stellar? Well, it is that IBM is announcing, along with Stellar, at a Money 2020 conference in Singapore this Tuesday, the 19th, about how they're going to be releasing multiple banks and their stablecoins on the Stellar network to help with cross-border payments. And to better explain it, I'm just going to let Jesse Lund, the CTO of, the head of blockchain solutions at IBM, talk about it. So let me just give this a little bit more volume, and here you go.
Really, largely by market demand, and by the demand of our clients, which are regulated financial institutions. So we let the market drive the selection and the expansion of the network incrementally. But we're really feeling excited that we're on a roll to build something new and revolutionary that's going to really change the landscape of cross-border payments.
You said in an interview at the IBM Think Expo last month, as I mentioned earlier, that you had several of these letters of intent with different banks. Can you tell us anything about that, and just, I guess, the coming of the bank-issued stablecoins, if you will?
Yeah. Well, for the details, you'll have to wait for next week, but I can confirm that we're going to be talking about more than a few banks around the world who are very interested and see tremendous business benefit to issue stable coins in their native fiat currency, and that only creates a better ecosystem for participants on the WorldWire network.
Do you envision that almost similar to how JPM is rolling out their JPM coin, where it's really institutions that would have that first access, or is this something that customers, end users, can get their hands on once it's launched?
Yeah, I would say it's somewhere in between. It's not a proprietary solution like JPM Coin's solution, although I think what they're doing makes a lot of sense for them. What JPM is doing also, I think, adds tremendous validation to what we're doing. But our view for stable coins is really that they should be more broadly accessible, and what WorldWire seeks to do is provide fungibility of digital assets across financial institutions. So I think that's really going to be the game changer in the future.
All right, so if you heard that was the IBM head of IBM of blockchain solutions talking about how at the Money 2020 conference in Singapore this Tuesday, March the 19th, himself and Jed McCaleb, the former CEO, because I'll talk about who the new CEO is for Stellar, are going to be announcing the WorldWire solutions with IBM along with Stellar, where they want to bring multiple central banks onto the network with their own coins, exchanging assets very fluidly, seamlessly, without any delay, instantaneously, with minimal fees. And I think that's going to be revolutionary in terms of adoption for remittance payments, cross-border payments, and just basically bringing the crypto space into everyday life. So back in 2017, when IBM announced that they were going to be working with Stellar on blockchain solutions, it caused a big spike in Stellar price. If you remember, it was back in, I believe, October of 2017, and it caused over 100% spike in price at that point. And I think something similar is going to happen this time around as well. We could have a little bit of a flash crash and then a pull up, or we could have a skyrocket up. And I'm more inclined to believe that this is going to skyrocket up. Up to where? Where do I think it's going to take us? Well, for that, I want to use a little bit of valuation prior to going straight to the technical analysis. So what I mean by that is, you know, earlier in my videos, I talked about how you could look at a currency's value with technical factors, or you could just assess its value based on use case, based on applications, based on market cap. And so right now Stellar is on the 8th place in the cryptocurrency with a total market cap of around 2 million. With the news with IBM, if it is as big as they claim it to be, I believe its market cap will rise into top 3. It would have to displace XRP, because it would show that it currently has more of a use case than XRP. It has more legitimacy than XRP, and it is already partnered in real world solutions. So therefore, it should capture a market cap higher than XRP. And that's why I believe it's going to go from 2 billion market cap to over 13 billion, possibly even replacing Ethereum. So anywhere between 13 and 14 billion in market cap. And so how does that relate to in price? With the current supply of about 19 billion, where would that take us to get us into this position? Well, if we go back to the charts, that would take us right into our previous high territory, but not all-time high, where the candle closed. It would take us to around, this is on the monthly chart, so let me take you to the weekly. It should take us to around 70, 72, 73, and that's exactly where I believe, sorry, let me just close this. That's where I believe after the news of this partnership with multiple banks, it being rolled out, that I think we're going to see a spike up to the 70 cents mark. And then maybe you're going to have a little bit of retraction back down, and then it's going to start continuing to go up. Now, where will that eventually take us in terms of a new all-time high? I believe it'll take us to at least $3.84 or 85 cents by end of this year, possibly July, as early as July. But I think within the next coming 2 to 3 years, we're going to get to up to $16 for one XLM, and that's just what the markets are showing me in terms of a technical basis, in terms of a use case and real world solutions, creating value bases. And so it's a really exciting time for Stellar. If you're holding on to Stellar, great. If you want to add to your stacks, by all means, as per your ability to do so, go ahead. But I definitely do think that Stellar is going to get into the top 3 cryptocurrencies in terms of market cap with this announcement, because of how incredibly applicable it is in the real world. I mean, right now, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, they all sound great in potential and promise, but real world solutions are yet to be offered. And I think with this News and Money 2020, that will happen. So that's where I believe Stellar will take us. And the other coin that we always talk about on this channel is Smartlands. And interestingly enough, on the same event of Money 2020 in Singapore, Smartlands going to announce its STO campaign. And if you've been keeping up with this channel, you know about Smartlands. You've invested in this early. You've been able to ride the rise. This is the Smartland chart. The ride from 25 to 3 XLM all the way to 45 XLM, and now it's touched that peak twice, and it's just bouncing off this key level over here, this support at the 78% support. And at that announcement of that STO campaign, I too believe that this will skyrocket, and we're looking at about possibly hitting 73 XLM in value. I believe that is a very approachable target for Smartlands to get at, and that's something to be looking for. Now, just to go about what I was talking about earlier about the CEO for Stellar changing, they just hired Danielle Dixon. Who is she? She is the, let me get to her blog post. She was the former COO at Mozilla. Now, why is that important? You know, with all the other cryptocurrencies, you always have a sense of, you know, is it legitimate? Is it going to be accepted in a legitimate manner with the biggest institutions? Well, when everyone accepts Mozilla, it is it's been around for over 10 years. The organization, they were huge on keeping the internet neutral, net neutral with their browser, and they were huge on internet privacy. Well, the CEO from that company now is the CEO and executive director at Stellar, and with that brings her network of connections, her respect in the industry, and legitimacy. You know, it's no longer Jed leading his own company, which you could always say there's a conflict of interest. He created it. Of course, he's going to push it. But where's his credibility outside of the crypto space, right? Here comes someone from the industry, not the crypto industry, but just the tech space industry, who has experience with a legitimate company over 10 years and now is going to be in charge of running Stellar, who's already partnered with another major giant company in IBM. And now you're having this two titans come together in this tech space, in this fintech space. And I really think it's going to promote a lot of institutional and big accredited investors, or even the retail investor, to pour their money into Stellar. So that's really exciting. And if you get a chance, do read a little bit into this. More about this whole connection about the industry. There was a post on the Reddit for Stellar, and I don't want to take credit for this post because it wasn't by me. It was by 87 Crypto. So give 87 Crypto the whole credit for this post. And I'm actually going to read this post out because it is so detailed and explains everything so well as to why I believe we're going to be in a bull market for Stellar specifically right now. So now for all the people that are listening to this as they're driving, or just listening to this while working out instead of watching it, the title for this post on Reddit was called "Stellar, the biggest cryptocurrency since Bitcoin." Okay, everyone, and I'm just going to read the post. Okay, everyone, feel free to tell me I'm crazy and delusional on my idea of Stellar being the biggest cryptocurrency since Bitcoin. In 2014, NASDAQ launched a separate company, NASDAQ Private Market, which partnered with a San Francisco-based blockchain startup company called Chain test Bitcoin technology. Part of this testing included digital transfers of money and other assets securely and nearly instantaneously, which is something the current system isn't capable of doing so seamlessly. Did you guys get that? Sorry, I'm just breaking from the script. They're talking about NASDAQ back in 2014 hiring Chain. And if you've been following me, and you know later in the article they'll point out to it, but Chain partnered up with Stellar. So NASDAQ, the big Wall Street entity, already back in 2014 working with another entity, which just so happens to now be working with Stellar as well. So let's continue with the article. Additional features include the transfer of securities directly between asset managers to serve as a secure ledger for tracking assets across divisions of a large organization, enable a next-generation mobile banking solution, create a loyalty point system for a consortium of brands to issue digital gift cards onto a network that can support multiple wallet vendors, create automated insurance contracts, and issue central bank currencies digitally to improve the payment systems in any country. In October 15, 2017, IBM chose the Stellar blockchain to power the process of cross-border payments. That's when they announced it. This partnership was to significantly reduce transaction costs and increase transaction speeds while eliminating the inefficiencies and frustrations of the current cross-border payment system. January of 2018, check this out. January of 2018, former chain president and Goldman Sachs manager, director of technology and business development, became the head of corporate business development for the newly launched digital arm of Fidelity. Now, if you guys don't know, Fidelity is this big investment entity, and they have a portfolio which I believe is in the trillions of assets. Okay, so the former chain president goes on to be working with Fidelity, and we know that Fidelity is also trying to get into the crypto space, right? From previous articles. Now, this is getting more and more obvious as to what is going on. The same group of people are involved in all these financial institutions. On September 4th, 2018, IBM debuted Blockchain World Wire. And this Blockchain World Wire is exactly what they're going to be talking about on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. This platform was created to not only improve the cross-border payment system, but to revolutionize the entire financial system. This ecosystem allows assets to be freely transported to any region of the world without the necessity to exchange currencies prior to doing so. Blockchain World Wire utilizes the Stellar native token, the Lumen, as a form of exchange, as well as gas for low transaction fees. One of the brilliant aspects of BWW is the fact that Lumen can be converted to as many as 60 currencies, and according to Jed McCaleb, even stocks can be transferred within the ecosystem. So right now, they're just presenting to you how all assets in the future will eventually be on a blockchain, hopefully on a blockchain run by IBM and Stellar. Where was I? This ecosystem allows freely as a form of exchange versus gas low. These currencies vary from the current fiat system to cryptocurrency, 1-to-1 dollar ratio stablecoins, and central bank digital currencies. Just 6 days later, on September 10th, blockchain startup and NASDAQ partner merges with Stellar startup named Lightyear. That's right, Chain and Stellar came together to form Lightyear. Oh no, it's actually they came to form Interstellar. This merger formed their customer base to the Stellar blockchain. On the other side of the IBM Stellar partnership, IBM was working closely with the Official Monetary and Financial Institutions Forum on central bank cryptocurrencies. That institution is an independent think tank for central banking, economic policy, and public investment, with a collective of investable assets equating to $36 trillion, which is equivalent to 45% of the world's GDP. I don't know about you, but that gave me goosebumps. The magnitude of the Stellar blockchain is just unreal. We're talking about Stellar having the potential to take over not just the cross-border payments market, but will also play a massive role in asset tokenization, which would revolutionize Wall Street itself. On October 13, 2018, Stellar partnered with SEC-approved security token exchange platform Hyperion. This exchange is the first platform in North America for security tokens. This provides investors the ability to exchange digital security tokens using blockchain technology with significant lower fees, as more efficiently than unique systems slowly on digital gold and silver currencies. This unique form of tokenizing gold and silver as a one-to-one allocation to those assets as a one-to-one allocate to those assets as a stable coin is just further proof that everything will be tokenized on the blockchain. Oh, this is a long post. Okay. Oh, yeah, there are a few more things to discuss. This is what institutions are calling open banking. Open banking is a system where banks can use the open source application programming interfaces, APIs, to allow third-party developer applications around financial institutions. A partner of IBM that is leading the way for open banking is HSBC. Due to this strong relationship, it is very likely that they will use Stellar blockchain to issue digital assets. Speaking of partnerships and third-party developers, let's discuss yet another huge part of the puzzle, that is Stellar. On October 28, 2018, the largest bank of the United States, JP Morgan, financed a $34 billion loan to IBM for the acquisition of the world's largest hybrid cloud provider, Red Hat. This purchase was purposefully executed to become the #1 hybrid cloud provider in the world. Red Hat fits the description perfectly of the third party required for HSBC to implement its open banking and eventually issuance of digital currencies through the Stellar blockchain. In case you were wondering why I made a point to mention JP Morgan and their massive loan to IBM when I could have simply left them out, well, circle back because it is important. On December 4th, 2018, we closed out the year with Fidelity and Nasdaq Ventures investing in cryptocurrency exchange ErisX. As previously mentioned, former president of blockchain startup Chain, Tom Jessup, relocated to Fidelity, which is a partner of Nasdaq in this cryptocurrency exchange ErisX. Tom Jessup was president of Chain during the time they partnered with Nasdaq. What I'm pointing out is that these top institutional companies are working together one way or another, and it is clear as day something massive will be announced March 19th. Make a big note of that, people. March 19th, coming up this Tuesday. As I mentioned before, as we look back at all the moving parts, I can't help but think that IBM and Stellar will revolutionize the stock market itself through their partnerships directly or indirectly. More importantly, due to blockchain worldwide and its capabilities, this is truly incredible. But that's still not all just yet. JP Morgan's financing $34 billion to back cryptocurrency coin to back IBM was strategic. Well, what do you know? On February 14th this year, JP Morgan launched their own US-backed cryptocurrency coin. As Jesse Lund, head of IBM Blockchain, previously mentioned, Blockchain Worldwide has led us to the Singapore Money 2020 event on March 19, 2019, coming up this Tuesday. All the pieces of the puzzle seem to be placed, and I honestly cannot find evidence to prove anything otherwise. Stellar has all the qualifications, attributes, and partnerships to not only be one of the biggest cryptocurrencies in the world, but to become the blockchain of the financial world. Please give me your thoughts. Again, an excellent article from 87 Crypto, and you can read it on the Stellar Reddit space. And I think that basically sums it up why we can expect a bull run for Stellar. I think all the ducks are in order and lined up to make this happen, and it really is going to be exciting to see how it plays out. There is the case to be made that often, you buy the hype and you sell the news. Maybe the news might cause a flash crash because it's already priced in and it's not expected to go right now currently. But this year and next year, I don't see how Stellar does not hit $3. I really do believe it goes past $3. And within the next 3 to 5 years, I do believe we're going to get to $16, $15. So that's it. Tell me your thoughts. This was an extremely long podcast. Don't forget about Smartlands as well. They're going to be launching their STO campaign, and that is going to lead to a bump in value when you look at SLT, XLM, and get in on that as well, because it is a low total supply coin, so its market cap can increase quickly, similar to Dash. All right, take care, y'all, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.